We are joined now by Congressman Adam Schiff, chairman of the House Intelligence Committee. Thanks for being here at a busy time, sir.
You bet. Good to see you.
Good to see you. I want to ask you this question with both pieces to it. That the Times' own reporting says they didn't find new Russia ties. Your response to that, given how much you've looked at that issue. And then the flip side, how many other vulnerabilities there may be that affect our national security.
Well, first on the no Russia ties and the tax returns, our committee is seeking the bank records, not the tax returns, the records of Deutsche Bank, which, when no other bank would do business with Donald Trump because of his poor credit, was willing to extend hundreds of millions of dollars in loans. Now, of course, Deutsche Bank has a history of laundering money for the Russians and has paid billions in fines for doing that. So our focus has always been on the bank records. But what the tax returns do reveal is that the president is heavily indebted. To whom he's indebted, the tax returns don't tell us. Whether he's going to be dependent on foreign powers or foreign parties or face another bankruptcy, we don't know. But it's certainly a vulnerability, a national security vulnerability for us, not knowing the answer to those questions. Yeah. And I think you're absolutely right. He would never get a security clearance, let alone a position of responsibility, without those questions being answered.
So this is the wild part, and Congressman, we've discussed this before, but now we have more evidence. This is where I feel a little bit like we're in the movie, and I'm asking you the questions that are in the spy thriller. But now that this level of debt has been confirmed by this exhaustive new report, we know something about the debt we didn't know last week. What is to keep a foreign government or foreign government-linked bank from buying up that debt, even at a premium, so they have new leverage over the sitting president?
Nothing at all. Nothing at all. And what's more, never mind having leverage over him, although that's obviously a paramount worry, they could curry favor by bailing him out. You can imagine, I mean, this president does nothing that's not in his personal interest. And you can imagine how grateful he would be if some foreign power bailed him out. But also, you know, just his dependence on being able to market his brand in other countries, because it was the brand, frankly, that made up for all his tragic business decisions. If that were to be impaired, if Erdogan was to say no more Trump Tower in Istanbul, then you could obviously have a huge influence on U.S. policy. It might already explain his bizarre affinity for autocrats like Erdogan.
So what does the United States do as he goes towards a campaign, which he may or may not win? But if he did, there'd be 4 more years, and you're in the co-equal branch of government. And what was hypothetically scary last week, but possibly false, in fairness. You know, we cover a lot of public officials, and we can't just go around saying, well, the worst possible scenario is how we're going to treat them, right? Because that's not journalism. But now, journalistically, that bad scenario has been confirmed. What is to be done about what you say is currently possible?
Well, you know, I think the sad reality is, unless the Senate were to flip, if Donald Trump remained president, he would continue to stonewall any oversight by Congress. So we wouldn't be able to tell whether a foreign power made a secret business arrangement to help rescue Donald Trump from his debt, or whether they were calling in his debt and therefore he was compromised. We would try to find out. But as we have seen, the GOP and the Senate is utterly unwilling to even enforce its own institutional prerogatives like subpoenas. It refused to even convict the president for stonewalling all of congressional oversight. So we have to hope, frankly, in the interest of protecting ourselves from compromise, that if Donald Trump isn't removed from office, which is the ultimate way to protect the country, that the Senate changes hands so there is accountability.
Yeah, it's really wild. I mean, it's a bad thing, and I say that regardless of who the president was or their party, to have this confirmed debt out there. Last thing I want to get you on, fallout from the Mueller probe. Flynn's attorney now discussing counseling the president about this. Quote, she asked Donald Trump not to even issue a pardon and gave him a general update on the status of that case. Your response to that and these loose ends from the probe?
Well, I mean, just the staggering impropriety of a case involving someone who lied to essentially cover up for the president, who the president and his attorney general intervened to try to make the case go away. And now the president is continuing to have direct conversations with that person's lawyer. You know, it's hard to know where to begin to talk about how improper all of that is. I can certainly understand why the judge in that case is so alarmed and incensed at what he is seeing. But it really is, it's part of the broader attack on the rule of law that has Bill Barr now dribbling out information in advance of the election, has Director Ratcliffe publishing Russian intelligence that he acknowledges may be demonstrably false. And in the latest, really staggering announcement from the Director of National Intelligence, he says that it was derived from very sensitive sources and methods he hasn't even briefed Congress on. Well, the disclosure of that information is potentially going to reveal those sources and methods. And for what? To try to give the president some minuscule advantage in the next few days? It's just incomprehensible how much damage they're doing to our national security.
Yeah. All important stuff, Congressman and Chairman of the Intelligence Committee, Adam Schiff. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.